Hey, feminine badasses. I hope you guys are all doing well. Today, I wanted to go over a few things in our third vlog. I wanted to answer Hannah's question. I thought she had an excellent question about how to overcome the fear of doing things on your own without worrying about what others may think, such as climbing a tree, she asked for an example. So I wanted to go over that, and then I wanted to get into just a little bit about feminine badass, where it came from, what it's about, what it means to be a feminine badass, and the movement that I'm creating with feminine badass. So to answer Hannah's question, the fear of doing things on your own because you're afraid of what others may perceive, think of you, say about you and whatnot, like doing things like climbing trees or working out outdoors and doing things that others may find odd or weird. So one thing I've always told myself is that you never really know who's watching and who you're inspiring. For example, my husband and I do a lot of barefoot walking, and we have certainly gotten the eyes of judgment. We're out and about just enjoying our hike, and we'll come across people and they'll say, oh, you're not wearing shoes, and they'll look at us a little funny, but we just continue anyway. Well, when we were at the beach about a week ago, my father was walking with us, and Danny was barefoot. And I was walking ahead with my mom and Lachlan, and when we looked back, my dad was barefoot, and he was walking barefoot, and I was super impressed by that. And it wasn't because Danny told him to. It wasn't any kind of pressure. It was because my dad was influenced by Danny and my actions, so he tried it, and he really liked it. So you never really know who is watching and who you might influence in a positive way. So doing things that may seem odd to others, you're standing out, and whether or not they find they're going to go do the exact same thing, what they will see is, wow, this person is really connected to their authentic self, and they're behaving in a way that they're not too worried about what others may think. Like for me, if I see a tree that I feel like climbing, I just go and do it. And trust me, I get looks and people are like, well, I'm an adult. What am I doing climbing trees? But I do it anyway, because no matter what you do in life, you're going to be judged. You're going to be criticized. People are going to like things and not like things about what you do. So the best thing that you can do is to live according to your authentic self. And you'll be able to make decisions that will fill your life and make it feel more wholesome, rather than always worried about what others may think. And if you're, that's just going to hold you back. If you're worried about what others are going to think, you're always going to be held back. And for me, when I feel the most alive is when I make an authentic decision, something that only feels very true to me and speaks true to me. When I take action with that, I come to life. Moving out west with Danny, going to yoga school, going down to Mexico for the Move Not retreat. Many decisions that I've ever made in life has always been scary. It's always been different from what others are doing. But I've never regretted listening to that voice, listening to my authentic self. I've always learned from it. I've always grown from it. And I've always really, the pulse just gets more intense in my body. Like I just feel more alive. So I encourage you just to start small, like just start doing things that make you feel as a happier person, and a more authentic person, and try not to worry too much about what others are saying, and see how it goes. And then you'll be able to start making even bigger choices and decisions in your life from your authentic self versus what you think, you need to do based on what other people think you need to do. And then that leads into feminine badass, owning your decisions and making a decision from your authentic self is a feminine badass. Awakening these 5 bodies you have. You have your physical body, you have your emotional, you have your mental, you have your spiritual, and you also have your sexual body. So awakening all 5 of those parts within you, you become this powerful force. And that's what I'm trying to get out into the world among all of us women, is that we are inherently a wild, fearless, fierce woman who we've kind of covered that woman up based on social norms and standards, on expectations, how we're supposed to behave ladylike and whatnot, and we've kind of hidden that wild woman. We've suppressed her, and that's who we were when we were children, running around, climbing trees, singing at the top of our lungs. I mean, when was the last time you really used your voice? Unless you're a singer, I'm not. But when was the last time you really used your voice? And it feels so good when you speak up. So just unleashing that, reawakening that woman within you will help you become that feminine badass. So making decisions and taking ownership behind those decisions, listening to your authentic self, being fierce about what you believe in and who you love, and who you want to protect and what you want to protect, reconnecting to Mother Nature and learning from her and loving her and living in harmony with your landscaping around you, and reconnecting to the earth, to the water. All of those is part of being a woman. And so getting back to that, we're kind of separated from that, moving more. I mean, I feel like if we can, the more we can get into our bodies and find ways to express ourselves through movement, the more confident we'll become in our bodies. And the more we are confident, the more we radiate that confidence, the more powerful we'll become. And the more we'll be able to walk on this earth, owning our space and making decisions based on our authentic self that lead us to a happier, more enriched way of life that's full of love and joy, adventure. But love, joy, and adventure come with risk and fear, and they come with happiness and sadness. You have both sides. So being able to fully embody that emotional part of us as well. So not hiding from our fears, not hiding from our tears, but also not hiding from what makes us laugh and happy and joyful as well. So again, a feminine badass reawakens her 5 bodies: her physical, her mental, her spiritual, her emotional, and her sexual. And when that happens, she unleashes this powerful, wild force that is just totally captivating and radiates confidence, and people are drawn to that. They're drawn. You're like a magnet. People go, wow, there's something about her that stands out. And that's what I'm hoping this feminine badass movement can start doing, is start getting out to more women about the amazing powers that we have within us, we were born with, and to not shy away from what has been kind of socially deemed as weak, such as our kindness, our compassion, our emotions, and looking to them as strengths and calling upon them instead of trying to shy away from them or cover them up. So that's what Feminine Badass is all about. That's why I've created this tribe on Facebook. It's something that I'm trying to keep authentic. I'm trying to keep my message very clear. I'm trying to encourage women to to voice their authenticity as well. So that's why I love how it's a collaborative group of women coming from all different backgrounds, all coming together with one commonality, and that's that we were born phenomenal, beautiful, sexual, sensual, fierce women. And together, uniting, coming together, we can use each other's strengths to uplift our own and to become even more of a force to be reckoned with. So that's what I'm hoping in my, I guess you could say my tool that has helped me the most has been through movement, continuously learning how to move and to know my body, to get to know my body and to be very grateful for what my body's able to do and what it has done in the past. So that's what I encourage all of you, is to start figuring out what tools you can use to harness your feminine essence, and to, instead of hiding them and tucking them away, how can you bring them out and to use them for the greater good of not just improving your way of life, but also those around you and the earth that we all live on and share. So so that's Feminine Badass, and we all in one way or another have feminine badass qualities that, again, some of them we've tapped into and some of them we haven't yet. And that's what this is about, is tapping into those qualities that we've suppressed over time. And it's time to let it out. It's time to unleash and untame ourselves and to become the women that we've always wanted to be ever since we were little girls. And together, we can make that happen. And so that's my mission with Feminine Badass. So please feel free to invite other women who you feel can contribute to this tribe or can benefit from this tribe. I think that we can all contribute in one way or another, and I think we can all benefit in one way or another. Every week I want to start highlighting a feminine badass so that we can each get to know each other a little bit better, ask some fun questions and post them. And so I'll be randomly selecting women to feature and sharing a little bit about her story. And I'm on Instagram. I'm on there more than Facebook, so we can hashtag Feminine Badass. Start sharing when you feel like a feminine badass, whether it's a workout, something to do with nutrition and building a better relationship with your food, whether it's something with your children, with your lover, with outdoors, with your work, animals, whatever it is that makes you feel like a feminine badass, which helps you connect to one of those 5 bodies or all 5 bodies. Share it. Let's get the message out. Let's show the world what it is to be a feminine badass. And let's not be afraid of it. Let's not be completely unapologetic. Own it. It's sexy. It's magnetic. It's something that people are wanting, and they want to be around that. So no more wallflowers. We can all stand out in one way or another. So hashtag Feminine Badass. Get on Instagram. I'm feminine_badass on Instagram. We have the group. Feel free to invite other women to the group. And let's start doing this, ladies. Let's release our badasseries and become the wild woman we're always inherently meant to be. And let's change the world. Be the change that you want to see, right? So anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much for supporting this and helping my vision become more of a reality. And I look forward to your feedback and hearing from you. Love you.